scared and I'm terrified. I've never experienced such horror in my life. As I look around me, I am glad just to be alive. The trees are wildly swaying in the distance. Thorn bushes cover the dry, arid land. There are tents too, the roof's made of plastic. They seem to be travelling for kilometres. The ground is dusty and dirty. It is unbearably hot, and I seem to be surrounded by the most putrid smell. I hear petrified screams of children echoing in my ears. But all of this doesn't matter right now. I need to find my family. I need to find food. I need to find safety. Just imagine if this was you, living a real-life horror story every day, not knowing what frightful situation you will face next. This is a reality for those living in the Dadaab refugee camp. So now let's focus on the real meaning behind this speech, to highlight the stark differences between our lives and those living in the Dadaab refugee camp. Also, for us to truly realise how fortunate we are. The Dadaab refugee camp is the world's largest camp, situated in Kenya, East Africa. 50% of its population are of school age. However, only half of its cohort are enrolled at school. How is this possible? Every child in Australia must attend school. The three most significant reasons why the children in Dadaab don't attend school are 1, lack of schools available, 2, children needing to help their families at home, and 3, affordability. Imagine having to sacrifice your food just to buy 2 batteries for a torch so that you could study at night. This is Cairo's story, a refugee in Dadaab. Research has shown that children who do not attend school are at greater risk of involvement in criminal activities and drugs. Not only this, with a lack of education, there is a limitation to what children can achieve in the future. Nelson Mandela once said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." If this is to be true, is it fair that we have more power than the children in Dadaab? Is it fair that we have air-conditioned classrooms, desks for each student, and a clean and safe working environment? In Dadaab, children are forced to work outdoors in the extreme heat due to the size of the classrooms and the number of students in a class. Inside the classroom, things aren't much better. Imagine having to share a single desk with 6 others in 40-degree heat, or to share 1 textbook among 33 others. Now let's draw our minds to another important issue: food. As I speak, there are thousands of people queuing up to receive their rations. That's right, a meagre amount of food to feed a family for 2 weeks. No fruit, no meat, simply dried beans, grains and oils. Just think how lucky we are. We have an abundance of food every day of every year. Yet, how often do we hear ourselves complaining, "I don't like this," or "I'm not eating that"? It is only in their dreams that the Dadaab refugees see themselves feasting upon a chicken roast dinner and an ice cream sundae for dessert. In fact, we eat like royals compared to these refugees. Refugees don't just dream of food, but of safety. Coming from a war-torn country, the refugees experience many hardships. But when they think they have found safety, troubles begin again. One issue the Dadaab camps are currently facing is security. This means that many ladies feel unsafe, uncomfortable and insecure due to the lack of privacy. Sometimes the scrublands are used as a toilet. In addition to this, with no plumbing or sanitation, many people around the camp can become extremely ill. Ben Rawlins, author of City of Thorns, describes a time when the latrines were overflowing and the rats and cholera had moved in. Of course, poor sanitation also means that the water is unsafe to drink. Why do we take things for granted? Having clean water is a luxury. Being able to use proper facilities, it's so unfair. We have so much to be thankful for. Our school, our health, our food, and the safe place we yearn to come home to every day. Perhaps, though, it's not enough just to be thankful. Pope Francis so beautifully tells us that every human being bears the image of God. Surely then, we need to reach out to those in Dadaab, remembering the corporal works of mercy. Feed the hungry, give drink to the thirsty, shelter the homeless. Currently, there are plans to close down the Dadaab refugee camp, making their lives more uncertain than ever before. But for us, though, the message remains the same: to be thankful and merciful. As Archbishop Oscar Amiro once said, aspire not to have more, but to be more.
It is early on a Sunday morning. It's 10 degrees in the middle of winter and I'm shivering all over. I could be in bed, enjoying a nice sleep in and a leisurely breakfast, but instead, I quickly get dressed, grab a banana and an up and go, and I'm out the door. This is because every Sunday I make a choice. A choice to get outside and do one of the most challenging jobs on the soccer field. I choose to be a referee. I am the referee for an under-10 girls team. I don't get paid to do this. I do it because soccer is my passion. I love the adrenaline rush I get on the field, whether I'm playing the game on Saturdays or reffing the game on Sundays. The feeling is the same. However, during the many years I've spent playing soccer and the 2 years I've spent as a referee, I have witnessed and encountered negative behaviours from parents on the sidelines on several occasions. I feel it is necessary to discuss this growing problem from a kid's perspective so I can bring this matter to your attention and share my experiences. I blow my whistle and the game begins. The spectators appear neutral, but there's electricity in the air. I see many people in the corner of my eyes, but I focus on the game and I try to avoid any distractions. It starts with little comments, here and there. Most parents are pretty good, but mutters of, "Come on, ref," can be heard. I can see some parents getting visibly frustrated when the opposing team scores a goal, but it then builds up to parents shouting tensely, as if they care more about winning than the players do. They blow things out of proportion, and aggressive words like "attack" are tossed around. The players hear it, I hear it, and I don't agree with it. I have witnessed parents arguing and questioning decisions made by the referee, even to the point where a young ref left the field in tears after being harassed by parents on the sidelines. Friendly soccer games are being taken way too seriously. Parents should be there to encourage and support their child, not criticise them or the referee. Just think about what kind of example they are setting for their children. If young kids see their parents acting in such a disrespectful way towards officials and players, then they are sending a message to their child that that kind of behaviour is acceptable. But it's not acceptable. Adults, don't set your children up for a future that doesn't include good sportsmanship. Let's put an end to this and make junior sport more enjoyable for everyone. Cut the negative behaviour and focus on the important parts of sport: friendships, fitness, and fun. And as a referee, I will make mistakes, and I might make the wrong call, but I'm only 12. and I will always try my best to ensure the game is fair. I recently attended a referees course, and they quoted something from the Football New South Wales website that we should all remember. These are children. This is a game. The referees are human. And most importantly, this is not the A-League or the World Cup. Game over.
Tremors, nightmares, and chilling screams. Just another night for her. It's not a dream. She wakes to the warmth of the sun, cradled, comforted in her mother's arms, the one moment she feels safe and out of harm. She quietly prays that things would change. She sneaks into the lounge room and hears the beast snore. She knows they must be quiet or his body will tremble and he will roar. Now in the light of day, she can see all of the damage of the night gone by. She has flashes of his voice, his hands, his words, his anger and his rage. She knows if anyone asks, she will have to lie. She knows the secret, it must stay. He says he will hurt us more if anyone knew or got in his way. As she goes to school with her lunch all packed, nobody can know what she is holding back. She wears the same fake smile she wore yesterday. The bruises she knows she will have to hide and keep the tears at bay. She wonders if anyone knows her secret, but are too afraid to ask. Is it too hard to see the pain and fear because she hides it so well behind the mask? She knows Mum does the best she can to love and protect them all from the beast that is her dad, one she wishes she never had. She wonders if he is right. Is she worthless, useless, dumb and a pest? He's told her so many times, so he must be right. She feels numb and wishes her head could rest. Is the worst yet to come? Her mum keeps her close at night. She's afraid of when he comes home drunk and turns on the light. She has learnt to know when he starts again to grab her brother and run as fast as they can. She knows her mum will take the brunt, the only way to protect them. Crash! Bang! The door slams closed. They hid under their covers so they wouldn't be found. They hear the sounds of yelling. Why he fights, they have no idea. They must weather the storm and never shed a tear. No one can see she is in pain. She is Sarah. Sarah is 7 years old and a victim of abuse, child abuse. How will Sarah's story end? Child abuse is anything that deliberately hurts a child. It is an act of physically, verbally, emotionally, and many other ways of hurting a child. This can break a child. Children die every day from abuse or neglect. In 2005, an estimated 1,460 children died as a result of abuse or neglect. Jealous parents, separated fathers, and strangers cause most of this. Sarah is a fragile soul, caught in the hands of fate. He is a strong, controlling man. Nights are the worst, while morning come too late. There are a lot of reasons people abuse children. They include to feel powerful, because they're repeating patterns they experienced as children. They don't understand that children have a right to feel safe. They think it's okay. It's not. Sarah bears the burden of a secret storm and wishes she was never born. Last year, Australia recorded 60,000 proven cases of abuse or neglect. That is a 45% increase over the last 5 years. It was reported that about 37,700 children were found to be the victims of abuse, aged 0 to 17 years of age. Sarah is a fragile soul, caught in the hands of fate. She prays to be free before it is too late. 35% of adults in Australia do not believe that child abuse is of significant concern in our nation. In fact, child abuse is seen less of a concern to some adults than council rates or the standard of our public transport system. Through all the wind and rain, Sierra's world is full of hurt and pain. Child abuse has lasting effects. People who are abused as children can often feel shame and guilt. Abused kids often blame themselves for what happens. They feel anger towards the abuser. They have a fear of getting close to new people and trusting them. Sarah has hopes and dreams. They give her wings to fly to a place where he is gone, a place free of his brutal punch and hearts aren't torn. It's time to rise up and become a voice for the voiceless and stop the abuse. This will be your legacy to the children of our nation. Sarah's story hasn't ended yet. It's only just begun. I know her life has changed and she continues to stand tall now in the sunshine and light. Sarah is now 11 years old. Sarah's story is my story. I am Sarah. I was a victim. I am a survivor.
It's the morning that only comes once a year, and I am thrilled with excitement. I scramble out of bed, careful not to fall over, as my eyes are still readjusting to the morning light. I jog out my bedroom door and excitedly descend the stairs, 2 stairs at a time. I turn a corner, and then waiting for me under the Christmas tree is the heartwarming sight of presents. I walk to the crowd of presents with a smile as wide as the Grinch. I look for which one is mine. There it is. I can't wait to open it. I tear open my first present. Sitting in front of me is smooth, shiny Adidas soccer ball. Just what I wanted. The aroma of the new leather makes me daydream about booting the ball into the back of the net. But then I stop. In my mind, I think about how grateful I am, how lucky I am. I think about all the children in the world who aren't as lucky as me. I say a short prayer. It's the morning that I dread every day, and I'm filled with fear and distress. I duck and crawl out of my shelter, being extremely careful as I hear the life-threatening sound of gunshots. I see a wide shelter scattered with a flood of bullet holes. I presume my family will be there, so I don't waste any time. I sprint for it, changing direction every 2 seconds in hope to avoid being shot. I'm getting closer and closer to the shelter, but as each bullet pierces the sandy ground, a bubble of fear explodes inside of me. I'm 2 meters away from the shelter. My life is at stake for another second. I turn a sharp, dangerous corner, and now I know that I am half safe. I navigate my way through a swarm of yelling people and find my family. I run to my family and embrace them. A tear of joy runs down my face. But I halt. I can't see her anywhere. I search for that precious face, her soul that cannot be replaced. My heart skips a beat until I see her lying on a raggy, ripped cloth. I run to her while tears of sadness run down my face. I ask if she's okay in a voice trembling for hope. She replies in a voice firm with faith. In my mind, I think about how grateful I am for her, myself, and my family to be alive. I think about all the people around me who have lost their family, brothers, sisters, mothers, and fathers. I say a short prayer. Refugees. There are so many of them. According to the United Nations, around 250,000 people have been killed. Out of those 250,000 people killed, there are children. innocent and unknowing. How can some people be so cruel to try and judge what these poor people have been through? Us as Australians leave our homes in the morning and expect to find them there when we go back. It's hard for us to understand what the experience of a refugee might be like. You have not suffered like they have. You have not experienced what it feels like to fear for your life every single day. This means you have no right to judge them. How can we be saying things like, "Go back to your own country," though in our national anthem we sing, "For those who've come across the seas with boundless plains to share." That line right there. How shameful it is to have those exact lines in our national anthem when we don't even act on it. We need to make a change. As a nation, we can make an extraordinary difference. Let me ask you this. Are we going to be the cold-hearted, uncompassionate nation? Or are we going to live up to our national anthem and advance Australia fair?
Can you remember those blistering hot 40-degree summer days? I thought that winter would never come. Global warming is the gradual increase in the Earth's temperature, but it results in no good. Glaciers are melting. Sea levels are rising. And cloud forests are drying, leaving animals homeless and hopeless. The polar ice cap has melted by 20% since 1979. We are slowly losing our entire frozen ecosystem. Not only is our world feeling the heat, but global warming is starting to take effect on us humans too. 1/3 of the Earth's major rivers have dried up or are in the process of disappearing. There is also a possibility that if global warming continues, there will be a decrease in global production, meaning a lesser chance of being able to grow food. No food and no water results in devastation all over the world as we all depend on food and water to survive. Can you believe that it is us, humans, who are causing all of this life-endangering damage? And what do? We all make global warming worse, and we all just sit around and watch the Earth suffer. Although, what is it that we are doing that is causing all of this distress? The greenhouse effect is a 6-step process of the Earth warming. Phase 1 is when the sun radiates heat onto the Earth's atmosphere, where some of the energy stays and the rest reflects back out into space. During Phase 2, the energy that stayed on the atmosphere gets absorbed by the land and the sea, warming the Earth. In Phase 3 and 4, heat pushes back out into space, but the rest gets trapped within the atmosphere by greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases are gases that soak up rays of radiation. An everyday example of a greenhouse gas is carbon monoxide, the fumes that come out of your car. Now, Phase 5 is where humans take their toll. When we burn fossil fuels and when we dig holes and fill them with garbage, we are creating more and more greenhouse gas. Phase 6
evaluates, the more greenhouse gas, the more heat gets trapped within the atmosphere, causing the Earth's temperature to rise. We can help put a stop to global warming by reducing, reusing, and recycling, avoiding products that have lots of packaging, and just turning off lights that aren't in use. Maybe you could ride your bike to school. It's that simple. Global warming is a reoccurring complication that we have been facing for years and years. It is time to take action if we are to save our planet from becoming a terrible, terrible place. Humans started global warming, and now, together, we have to stop it before it's too late.
Life is better with barbecue sauce. Life is good and life is fun, but it's so much better with barbecue sauce. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Barbecue sauce is a caramelized, tomato-based, dark brown in colour, replicating the smoky flavours of barbecue grilling. My definition: delicious, tasty, yum, a condiment that makes any food taste so much better. Okay, imagine this. You are sitting at the dinner table with your family. You are super excited because you are having your favourite meal, a pie. You take the first bite. Your taste buds sense a plain taste. Something is missing. Your eyes glance at the kitchen bench. There it is, sitting in all its glory, the barbecue sauce bottle. You grab it. The hardest decision you will now face. Do I squirt this goodness onto one blob on my pie, little blobs all around, zigzags, waves, or the famous smiley face? Smiley face it is. You take the second bite. Heaven! Life is better with barbecue sauce. Did you know that barbecue sauce has less than 1 gram of fat and no cholesterol? It contains vitamins A, B, C, and D. You can even buy salt-reduced barbecue sauce, spicy barbecue sauce, smoky barbecue sauce, rib barbecue sauce, and honey barbecue sauce. In my household, barbecue sauce is so precious. It has its very own special spot right there at the front on the second shelf of the pantry. Chaos rears its head if it is not put back in its cosy home, and you will certainly hear someone calling, "Where is the barbecue sauce?" We all love a gratisy barbecue, good old sausages and meat being grilled on the barbie, sitting down to a feast with family and friends. But wait, the table is not complete until sitting in its throne is the barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce is just like icing on a cake. Scrumptious. A barbecue is not a barbecue without barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce is known to be a thrill seeker. Barbecue sauce has been seen to jump off things like hamburgers, sausage rolls, and meat pies. It rewards your enjoyment by leaving an impression on your top or pants. Part of growing up is spilling and staining your clothes with barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce is quite social too and loves to party with his brother Tom, better known as tomato sauce. Barbecue sauce just loves to leave an imprint by little children on chairs, walls, and lounges. Oh, how life is better with barbecue sauce. barbecue sauce is just so versatile. It can be used as a flavour enhancer to a variety of foods, such as chicken, pies, hot chips, sausages, pizza bases, meatballs, and the popular Devon sandwich. But it is also a best friend to many children, as it disguises the taste of dreaded vegetables. What child hasn't smothered the food they hate just so they can eat it quickly and are then rewarded with dessert afterwards? Life is better with barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce, a flavour enhancer, the main guest at a barbecue, a popular visitor at parties, a food disguiser, a member of the family, a best friend. Barbecue sauce is not just a sauce, S-A-U-C-E, but is a source, S-O-U-R-C-E, of great enjoyment with food. Life is better with barbecue sauce.
The award for the social justice speech this year goes to Taylor Hodgson Harvey.
Moya, my wife and I are going to announce the runner-up. Second place.
It goes to A Refugee's Christmas, Sebastian Nahal.
Okay. Do you want to say a few words?
Thank you. I want to say thank you to my teacher, Mr. McGuire, for helping me throughout my speech a lot, and at school giving me opportunities to enhance it. So thank you, Missy.
Well done.
However, I have the very difficult task, but the very honourable task of awarding the winner. And that goes to Tian McCluskey.